Hi guys, welcome back to yet another video. My name is Martin. I'm filming this in my storage unit today being Saturday morning. I thought I would do something a little bit different. I was doing spotlight videos a while back, and I thought I'd do one for Aquaman today. And the reason, the catalyst for this is kind of because of the passing of Peter David and also Butch Weiss. And I wanted to show for a small part the work that these two guys put into Aquaman. Now, back at home, I have what I would consider the biggest Aquaman action figure collection that I've ever seen, and purely it's biased from my point, but I have well over 100, well maybe even 150 Aquaman action figures. It's gotten to the point where I have more figures than I know that are out there. There's only a handful that I'm yet to pick up. I'm not including statues. I do have a few statues, but I think if I was to start getting statues, it'd just get a little bit insane. But I got this in the mail back at home yesterday, and it came in this little package, this little brown package. And it was all, it wasn't taped up so much. It had like saran wrap. Or glad wrap, as we call it here in Australia. And it looked really sus. It came from Canada, so I think this is a Canadian action figure, because I haven't seen it here in Australia, but I got it on eBay, and yeah, it just looked like looked like there should have been some white powder in the packaging, but I cut it all out, and yeah, it was in nice condition, but there's a little cut here because the seller put this in with it, and he or she had sticky taped it onto the back of the card. So I've got this ice hockey card by it's Roman Josie. I don't know who that guy is. I haven't been following the ice hockey lately, but yeah, it damaged this, but that doesn't matter because it's all just coming out anyway. So let me just get that out, and we have Aquaman there. He's going to come with me back home, and I might even do a action figure video just to show all the Aquaman action figures that I have. But anyway, what I do is I show off 4 books, and I end on a key issue. The first one is drawn by Butch Weiss, and it's the Aquaman Sword of Atlantis series, issue 42, written by Kurt Busiek. This was 19 years ago now that this came out, or thereabouts. And who we have here, this is Arthur Curry, but it's not the Arthur Curry that we know. It's not an alternate version. It's just a guy who he's exactly like Aquaman. He has everything all the same as Aquaman, but he's a completely different character. And at the end of this series, he gave up being Aquaman. He said, "I don't want to do it anymore," and he put his sword down in the seabed, and he just walked away, or kind of swam away. And we've never really seen him since. But there he is. There, it was an interesting series in that it played up a lot of the sorcery aspects that you would kind of get from, like, let's just say, Pirates of the Caribbean. That kind of sword and sorcery storyline. But yeah, there we go. That's issue 42. I wanted to show that off. Next up, we have issue 63. This is from the year 2000, in the year 2000, with this beautiful Mike Kaluta cover. Now, Dan Jurgens and Steve Epting were on this book. Peter David had left the series by now, and for some reason, I don't know why, but the sales were down on Aquaman. And Dan Jurgens was brought in to try and boost sales. Yeah, so he was given just over 10 issues. This series ended with issue 75, which was a bit unfortunate, because I would have liked to have seen issue 100, but alas, it was not meant to be. But Dan Jurgens really brought his A game with this. He had a clear love of Aquaman, and these Mike Kaluta covers were just absolute gold. Now, next up we have issue 50, again with well, sorry, this was Eric Larson. Eric Larson was brought on. That's right. So we had Peter David, Eric Larson, and he was in for like a handful of issues, and he brought his own style. So if you're a fan of Eric Larson, you knew what you were going to expect with this series. I have to admit, it wasn't my particular favorite. Visually, it was very interesting, but they just Eric Larson just played up the soap opera love interest with Aquaman and Mira, and there was another guy, I can't remember his name, but he was like the wannabe king of Atlantis. And it was a case of, is Mira going to stay with Aquaman, or is she going to go with this new guy? And it was like, what's the point? I just want to see Aquaman, doing Aquaman stuff. I don't want to have a soap opera drama at this period. But visually, it was very nice. But the key issue that I want to show off in this video is this. Here it is. Aquaman issue 0 with the harpoon hand, just absolute gold. Now, I started getting this series very late in the game. It was around issue 40, somewhere around there, and Peter David and Jim Calafiore they were just hitting their stride with every issue, and I was enamored with the artwork, with Jim's artwork, to be honest, and that's what drew me in. And then I realized, okay, there's this whole world of Atlantis, and there's this whole world with Aquaman, and I really fell in love with Peter David's writing style and his clear love of the character. It's shone in every page for me. So I was hooked. I was harpooned with Aquaman, and I've been that way ever since. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting the current series, which is quite good. I've got all these action figures back at home. I've got to do something with them. They're kind of gathering dust. But yeah, I just wanted to show off this series, and I would show off Aquaman and pay homage to Butch Weiss and to Peter David. May they both rest in peace. And I just want to say thank you to these two guys for the sheer amount of work and love you put into this mythos. From my point of view, it's shone in every page. So thank you for sticking with me. Let me know what you think of those books. Were you familiar with the Sword of Atlantis? Because I know the sales weren't great. And it got a little bit cartoony at the end, which was kind of fun, to be honest. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below. Please like and subscribe if you wish to. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for sticking with me, and I'll catch you at the next one.